How could they be other than legend? Stories told from deep within the mind of Earth. Myth made flesh. Here is the wind and thunder, the soul of wildness. Life force hurled from the quiet heart of time. Wild horses. Nature at her most eloquent. They speak of our most cherished longing. They speak of freedom. Just to know they are in our world is to know that in this ever more confining age, we too can be free.
A wild horse is a horse that roams freely around its own home territory within a social hierarchy, adapting to its environment over time. They represent freedom, and that's a desire we all have, to go where we want to go and be what we want to be. America's Mustangs are that kind of horse.
When you see a creature that can adapt better than humans, that can make use of its habitat and can still reproduce and still be wild and free, it tugs on us. We're not that wild and free.
I think that in order to have a truly biodiverse society, we need to have everything. And two things you look at, the biodiversity of the environment and the health of the plants and the health of everything within that environment. And that's what makes a healthy society. It's told to me that the horses have always existed in our country. One reason that they were able to survive over long periods of time because they adapted to the human conqueror, and the human conquered them, so to speak. Horses, generally in every culture, are connected to the soul of all people because almost every culture either used a burro or a horse in its civilization. So I believe that there is a deep connectedness between humankind and between horses.
It would have been a lot more difficult to accomplish things in America without the horse.
Probably one reason that we as Americans don't eat them, because we look at them as a companion and a partner with us. I worry if we become separated from nature and our children no longer are out here on this grass and looking at the trees and participating with nature, that they'll forget our roots and that everything that was so important to humankind in the early time may not be as important in the future generations.
Highly intuitive, intelligent, discerning, elusive, playful, and magnificently strong and fast. Wild horses are often called dolphins of the land. Their deep devotion to their bands of family and friends is what they live for and what has helped them survive. But humans continue to interfere in their time-tested social hierarchy and free-roaming life on the range. The world has millions of horses, but America's Mustangs are now facing extermination in the wild. As an animal of prey, their lives are always at risk, with humans posing their greatest threat. What the Bureau of Land Management innocuously refers to as gathers is a brutal, hell-bent helicopter drive that terrifies these sensitive animals of prey. They run for their lives in a heart swell of panic as sweat pours from their withers, fluid and blood ooze from their noses, hooves tear and wear down, legs break, flesh is torn, and dust fills their lungs. Weakened by dehydration, fear and exhaustion overwhelm them as they are chased forever from their free-roaming lives on the range. We carry a burden for these horses because they belong to all of us. Public horses on public land, removed callously with millions of dollars of our tax money. Isn't there a terrible wrong being done here to both human and horse?